G'day ladies and gents, welcome to War Thunder with Mags. Now I've seen a lot of posts floating around on the forums by new players asking, what do high level, level 20, level 19, level 18 jet battles look like? So today I'm going to show you one. I'll show you one with my British lineup here, which consists of the F4 Meteor, the two F3s, the Meteor and the Sea Meteor, and the Vampire. I've also got the Mosquito in the lineup. This is because I'm currently only level 18. I don't have access to the second F4. Now, just to show, for starters, there is a problem with the British jets. The F3s are probably the worst of the tier 17 jets in the game. They're almost not worth flying until they're fully upgraded, so they're a bit of a conundrum because you've got to fly them to upgrade them. Even upgraded, they're only passable. They don't start acting like jets till they've got everything, nearly everything unlocked. The Vampire, its current flight model is a joke. It really is. You'll see in match, it's stock and it has trouble getting over 400 kilometers an hour. As a jet, it's ridiculous. It'll get run down by prop fighters, and you will see that as well. But all the British jets have a major issue with trying to grind their XP. I'm going to show you this here. If you go up to the weapons tab, stand update, you see I've got minor upgrade. I've got the compressor on the F4. I believe the Vampire doesn't even have that. Now, you don't unlock any offensive belts until you've achieved 320,000 experience on it. 420mm, you think this wouldn't be a major issue. It is. The default belts, if I mouse over them to show you what's on them, high explosive fragmentation incendiary shell. Damn good shell. Nice to have in there. Second shell, practice shell. That's a rubberized round. It'll bounce every single time. Third round is a tracer shell. So a standard solid shell, no armor piercing capability, no explosive capability, no fragmentation, no incendiary, just a phosphorus coated chunk of lead. At the high speeds, that normally bounces as well. So you really only have a third of the ammunition you think you have. For every 3 shots that come out of each gun, there is only one that's going to do damage. And the high explosive fragmentations, well, as much as they're a great shell to have, if you've got armor piercing capability in your lineup, they can't pierce armor. You've got to hit a soft point on the plane. So you're firing 3 shells per gun, only one's going to do damage, and that one will only do severe damage if you get lucky. It's a problem with all the jets. It's a major hold up on the grind. Once you've managed to unlock the offensive belts, the speed of the grind does speed up. Anyone grinding the F3 Meteors at the moment, it does get better once you unlock those belts. Once you get the engine, well, you'll start feeling like you're actually flying a jet and not a boat. I'm going to show you arcade, because as you can see here, I'm trying to get unlocks on these aircraft so I can go fly HB in them. Flying in HB has its own inherent problems. Obviously, most of the people you're flying against will be upgraded as well. You can get into tier 20 matches, which leaves your plane, which would normally be at a major disadvantage under a level 20 aircraft, as having a major disadvantage when it's not upgraded at all. But there is another problem at the moment in arcade. Now, the second you step into an 18, 19 level lineup, you will have a very good chance of getting matched against 20s. Since the latest patch came out, the 2 most popular lines for jets now have multiple level 20s. 2 MiG-15s, and if we go over the American line, go down here, 3 Sabres. You think, oh, so you've got to face multiple tier 20 jets. It shouldn't be a major issue. Well, it depends on whether or not the person you're flying against, how he's flying them. If he's a seal clubber who's just there to farm, well, you'll see that at the end of this match. So, flick back over here. Let's get this on the road. Okay, so into the match. First thing you'll notice, 800 meters gun convergence, full fuel load. The 800 meters is, well, these jets, you start playing in the vicinity of 1,000 kilometers an hour while you're flying. A 2 kilometer gap in a prop fighter, moving at 500 or 600, seems like a huge distance. At 1,000 kilometers an hour, it's nothing. It's a matter of seconds before you've crossed that gap. So you want to get accurate fire from the longest distance you possibly can. Second thing, full fuel load. If you're going to fly and do well in jets, you fly them like you're in an historical. You pretend you have no other jets or no other aircraft available to you. You're going to try and stay up for the entire match if possible. So you can see, going straight for this Panther straight up, cutting straight to the centre of the field. Put a clip into him, no effect. That hit marker that came up then was one of the practice or tracer rounds hitting him and just ricocheting straight off the back of his plane. So I'm trying to get distance shots on him. I'm not going to clip. So force a reload, pull level, and just gain a bit of altitude. I'm still following him. I'm hoping he'll turn and give me a chance to come back on him. But the F4 Meteor is actually probably the best level 18, well both the F4s are probably the best of the level 18, level 19 fighters. I can't compare them against the F80 and the Panther yet, as I don't have them and I haven't seen enough of them in combat, but they're a bloody good aircraft in comparison to the F3s. If you're grinding through the F3s right now and going, oh god, the F4 is going to be the same plane again, don't worry, it's not. You see he uses the edge of the map to respawn then, so I did exactly the same thing. If I'd turned, I would have lost too much speed, he would have got away. I was trying to keep the altitude advantage, hoping the teleport would put me in a good spot to get a dive back on him. Some people don't like this tactic, but people are going to use it, so you may as well use it too. So the Panther, more manoeuvrable, does a sharp turn back, sunder, drop landing flaps and use the air brakes. Now, air brakes on a fighter, if you haven't played with jets, most of them have it. You need to use it. Otherwise you'll never be able to turn or pull or control your speed. Goes through. Now I'm not sure if there was a ram or a kill shot there, to be perfectly honest. I missed it in game and I've missed it on the video every single time. But Panther's eliminated. MiG-15. Now this is the first time I've spotted the MiG-15. I've realised, oh shit, I'm in a tier 20 battle. Alright, I can work with this. We've got a F-86F chasing him up there. We can do this. We've got tier 20s on our team too. It's all good. So trying to close in, and I see the Panther pilots respawned in an F-80C. I'm never going to catch that MiG-15. The Saber's going to have that duel on his own. That F-80C is in a primary position to dive in on the rest of my team, so he needs to be removed. Swinging the camera around to check my tail. As you can see here, that F-80C is diving on an angle that's away from me, and you can see the closing distance. And I'm at over 800 kilometers an hour. You know, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers is nothing once you start playing to these speeds. Moving in, I'm going to get rid of this guy. Very, very, very slowly winding him in. I'm keeping my indicator to the left. He looks like he's going to turn left. And I'm hoping when he turns, we'll breach his speed. So I'll get a few seconds to get a shot on him. Roll out, just clip him on the way past. He gets one back into me, no damage. I got a funny feeling that that F-80C is stock as well. Go into a high angle turn. Trying to use the tracking camera to track him through the blackout, and he's lost control and slammed it into the ground. So the F-80C is out. I'm too close to the enemy base and the enemy spawn, getting the hell out of there. Trying to find new targets. MiG-9, that seems like a good option to me. Just keeping an eye on that MiG-15 at the moment. I've only seen one of them, but it only takes one to come in and nail you. Now at this point in time I haven't realised, but there are actually 2 MiG-15s flying around. I should have hit tab to check my targets. Short burst and roll out. You don't want to stay, even though it's a prop fighter, you do not want to stay in front of something that's heavily armed in a jet. It only takes one clip All the jets are inherently fragile. One good 30mm shell will destroy them. One good 20mm shell will destroy them. Just continuing to try and chase down this MiG. There's a 163 in his tail. I think it's 163 in his tail at the moment. He's burning through fuel hard to keep up. Trying to get a lead. Now the meteors don't roll particularly well or pitch particularly well. It takes a bit of control to try and get the aim on, which you see why then it looked like I should have been able to just snap the nose over and get a shot. The plane was not going to roll. Very nearly have a collision there, blinding the G's. Thankfully I didn't. So go vertical, come over, try and get an altitude advantage to get an angle on this mountain. He's sort of half covering him. Now he's directly below me at the moment. Diving at this speed would basically be suicide. So I'm just looping around. He's trapped at low energy. I've got all the advantages. I've got all the time in the world to get lies on him. Critical hit, severe damage to the wing. Now he's mine. Just closing into a shot, trying to position on where the lead indicator is going to show up and count for the lag. I'm playing on the Russian server here to get this match. Put one into his tail. I don't actually get the kill. The plane coming in behind snaps him as he's going down. But as long as he's out of the battle, this is a good thing. MiG-15 on high again, going back for altitude to see whether or not I can close him. This MiG-15 is flying the very edge of the map. He's got a 163 in his tail, but there's no way I'm going to be able to close that distance, so I'm just searching for new targets. Yak 9, can't see the model. Doesn't matter, I'll have a crack at him. He's strafing out ground targets, and the biggest risk of jet battles, pilots and jets get so caught up in piloting jets and trying to kill other jets that they forget about the ground targets. It's very easy, and I've seen it happen so many times, a single fighter or a single bomber slipping under the radar and taking out all the ground targets and winning the match for the team while the jets are still duking it out in the air. Yak rolls over, it's more manoeuvrable, but I've put good hits into him. Just climbing for a rollover again. Too high speed. So just rocket up through the mountains. Yeah, so this crew in this aircraft is almost fully upgraded, except for gunnery skills for bombers, for when I use this crew to take a bomber into HB. All the G-force resistances are maxed out. The planes are just so fast, I pull so many Gs that it doesn't matter. Coming in on the Sabre. Got a good angle, he's in a turn. Blind shot in the G's, critical hit, set him on fire. I'm not going to bother losing my energy to dive down on him, he's burning. He had critical hit go off, that's it. The fire's taking him out, he's in the dirt. Sabre removed, so that's one level 20 taken off the enemy team. So I'm just checking the team details. At this stage in time, it looks like we're going pretty good. We have the advantage in jets, we have the advantage in aircraft. The enemy team's been hammered down hard at the start of the match. Very few losses. All is going well. You see, I shoot long before the lead indicator will come up. You need to. The closing distance is so high. That was all the time that I had to pull the trigger. But it was enough. Obviously damaged his control surfaces. He wasn't able to continue to turn and wax it into the mountain. You'll find that a lot with jets at this sort of a level. You won't always get the kill, the big confetti explosion that everyone loves seeing in the air. It'll often be cripple and watch them spiral to their doom. They got another F-86 up. That MiG-15 is still just swooping and running through the battlefield. The problem is at this stage we've got really only one player that can catch him, and I haven't seen him the whole match. I have no idea where he is. So, hoping I can get a loop onto the tail here. And there's that MiG-15. Came through while I was in the turn, blacked out, pulled the trigger, and boom, I win his gun. But it happens. That's the risk with arcade, and it's the risk with jet battles. Once you go into level 20s, it will occur. So, no, nice shot to him. Well done. Time to bring out the next one. Oh, the Vampire. I really have a love-hate relationship with this thing. Now, I pull its fuel load down as I'm going into the battle. 30 minutes is all it needs. There's only 11 minutes in the battle left. I'm no way known I'm going to burn through all that fuel. I could have probably dropped it to minimum and still been fine. And it's such a pretty aircraft, and historically it was a very good plane, but it's just... It was overperforming in its previous flight model. Nobody's going to argue that, but it's just so neutered now. It does manoeuvre very well, and it is good in the vertical, however. Its flight characteristics actually remind me a lot of a jet-powered Zero. It's not so much about the roll and the turn, but the climb and the dive and the loop in order to fly with it. You'll see there, that manoeuvre there in the F4, the other level 18 jet that I've got would have had me at over 700, 800 kilometers an hour. Here, 570 is all I'm managing to achieve. Same as this aircraft. That's how badly it's been beaten down. My F3 Meteors will outrun this with no problems at all. I'm hoping to upgrade to see if it'll get better. The 4 Hispanos, however, were not neutered. I've just realised here that the num code doesn't have a "you're welcome" on it, so I have to type it out by hand. Just cleared that. I'm not even sure what I shot down then. Hostile fighter on my teammate's tail. He was in a world of trouble, so... Gonna try and get onto this MiG. There's no way known I'm going to catch him, but I'm hoping I'll get into him onto a turn and cripple him. You just see the speed that it crosses the map at. By the time I've turned around, it's over a kilometre away. So I put a hit. Never stay on. Do your shot and roll. It's the easiest way to throw off the oncoming aircraft's aim and get you into a position where you won't have a head-on collision. I'm still following this MiG. It's still the most dangerous aircraft on the enemy team. And the pilot is very good. He knows exactly how to fly his aircraft. He's doing exactly the right thing, booming, zooming, getting several kilometres away to make the turn, to make sure he has ample time to set himself up on another attack run. As you said, we've just got nothing on our team now that can actually track him down. So the best we can do is try and force him into a nose-to-nose. Line straight up with him, hope he singles us out, and hope our guns are faster than his. So here we go, I'm going to take a crack at it. I'm going to put my cursor where I reckon the bullets are going to go, fire the lead, and obviously I was on, he got very nervous, and he chickened out. And this is, at this stage in time, this is the only way we're going to take out this MiG-15. Now he's paying particular attention to me here at the moment because I am the last, or the highest tier jet left alive on the team. We've got a 163 remaining as well. He can run that out of fuel. All he's got to do is circle the outer part of the map until it's out of fuel, and the pilot is either going to crash it or he's going to try and land it, and then he can just strafe the runway out and the threat's removed. So even though this battle at the moment is basically a 3-on-1, he's still got all the advantages in that aircraft. I just love the cockpit of this plane. So, he's dropping down, I'm going to take another crack. He has got a fire, he's been clipped. Put a couple of leading shots in his direction. But the fire's done its work, he's going down, and I'm not going to steal somebody else's kill. Now I've confirmed he's going to die, I'll let him go. Now, here you're going to see how bad the flight model in the Vampire really is. At the moment, you've only seen sort of head-on passes, boom and zooming, or me diving from the advantage. The MiG-15 has come back in a Yak 9. So this is a prop fighter, half my tier. Now, I've just damaged him in that pass. I'm swinging around now. The one thing the Vampire does have, which is something it had in real life, is manoeuvrability. As you see, I'm able to turn with this 9p. It does turn faster in the turn, you would expect it to, but I could make that turn. So he's all the way over there. I decided, no, we've got another fighter in the area, I'm going to run, get some speed, pass back out, take me. So I'm going to go straight over the top of this mountain. Put a couple of shots over, I knew that was coming, go straight to a dive to try and accelerate away. Spin the camera around. Now he was nearly a kilometre away before, he's now 300 metres and right on my tail, pulling me apart. A prop fighter just managed to turn around, fly over a mountain and dive on me faster than I could get over the mountain and dive down in a jet. That's how badly the Vampire flight model is broken at the moment. So I'll bring out the F3. Now, he's just been taken out in his Yak P as well. My ally got in his tail, took him out. Should be a clear win, no problems from this stage in. But this is what's happening in all the battles now. He's come back in the MiG-15 biz. And he's no longer interested in playing fair. He's saved this plane up for exactly this purpose. And this is 8 out of 10 arcade battles in jets at the moment. If you wind up in a tier 20 battle, one team will do this to the other team. So he makes a pass, didn't even attempt to shoot me. Just swoop through, going thin on the other side, just checking out what I've got. There's no way known I'm going to catch him in this. 500, 600, that's about all this single pull fully upgraded. It retains energy very well for a jet though. Or is a jet, that's what it's meant to do. I'm not going to be able to climb with him, he's already 3 or 4 kilometres above me. The best I can do, I can see he's setting up for a boom on me. Try and stay below him to give myself the best position to be able to basically turn. High angle dives at high speeds in tier 20 aircraft are risky. Don't turn quite enough, takes me apart. Swoop straight through, go straight back for altitude. Why did he do that? Well, This is how he wins the match. So I eject out and bring out the Sea Meteor next. Now all he's doing, he's sitting right over our spawn point driving in a circle. The 163 that was flying around is now out of fuel and out of the match. He has to spawn in another aircraft. So the other ally's been shot down, I've just been taken out and spawned back in, trying to get speed. As soon as I've spawned in, he's already started his dive. The second guy appeared, and here it comes. And all he's going to do now is circle the site and kill us continually every time we try and spawn in, or until we all quit the match. Now, I say, look, I'm not going to play this game anymore. I'm leaving the match. There's just no point. And Mosquito is just another repair build against in this situation. As soon as I spawn in, he's just going to dive and shoot me again. So, send through my apologies, and on my way. Now, you'll see why I didn't bother bringing the Meteor out, the Mosquito out. This is a big enough loss as well, and this is common in jet battles with multiple jets. So how did we actually go that match? Well, we got 5 kills, which isn't bad. Insanely high kill streaks are relatively uncommon in high tier jet battles, especially when you're flying 2 levels underneath the top aircraft in the game. We also got 22,310 experience and about 27,000 credits. But that isn't the battle results screen, that's the mission in progress screen. So how about we take a look at what we actually got for our efforts. So here we are, a defeat as expected. Now our XP got up to 30,500, give or take a bit, but you'll see we're on almost negative 17,000 credits for repairs. That's just what happens. It's hard enough to get a high tier jet battle as it is, mainly because most players just don't have one yet, and those that do all queue up on different times, so getting the battle is difficult to begin with. And then add that type of seal clubbing that you got right near the end there, and you can see why new players with stock aircraft that just have finally got into jets and they're really happy that they've gotten there, and they just don't queue up. They get discouraged, they get angry with the game. It's because of, well, shit like this. It is better in historical, as in you don't have to worry about players coming out with that sort of a final blow in the match, I guess, only having access to one plane. But then you're fighting with stock aircraft several tiers below the top aircraft in the enemy team, and, well, you run into a different variation of the same problem. I know quite a few players in the game right now that refuse to fly or fly jets at all until they have access to the level 20s, and then are refusing to fly anything but the level 20s for this exact reason. And this is why you just can't get jet battles. It'll probably get better down the track as more people get access to jets, as Gaijin actually balances the jet battles out, fixes things like the broken Vampire flight model, gives the British jet that will perform at level 20, because the F8 Meteor doesn't. As I said, as you can see, I don't have it yet. I know people who do have it, and they said basically it's just the F4 over again. Now, if the F4 isn't going to perform against MiG-15s and F-86 Sabres, without them making a monumental way the F8 will, if it's the same Tier 20 jets to the American and Russian lines. Why I do love the fact that they're padding out the lines. If you're going to add jets like that to one, you need to add them to all. And this problem gets even worse if you try and fly Germany at this stage in time, because the 262 is still not quite correct. It fully upgraded underperforms what it was historically capable of, and it has to fight MiG-15s and F-class Sabres. an aircraft that were produced 10 years after its production date. Gaijin has a lot of work to do in level 17 and above, and they really need to do it soon, because a lot of players are starting to catch up to that area, and jets will break a lot of new players, or a lot of players just achieving there. They'll start to question, why are they bothering pushing into this game when endgame is so badly broken. Anyways, folks, I'm going to call it here on this one. I've hoped you enjoyed the battle. Hoped you enjoyed seeing what a level 20 arcade battle looks like in jets. I will probably be putting together a historical battle sometime in the future with my F4s, and we'll see how they go on that side, so you can see what the other side of the coin looks like. Until then, if you like this video, please click the like, subscribe if you want to see more, and fly safe.